are welcome to Anchor Network, where you get first-hand information about things happening around you. And I appreciate every one of you who are subscribed to this channel. And if you have not subscribed, please press the red button and make sure you press the bell icon, because if you don't press the bell icon, you will not be notified anytime we post news, because we want you to get the news as soon as they come, as fast as they come. So press the bell icon so that you'll be notified anytime. The news we have for you now, you'll be glad that you are aware of it. Stay tuned. Prince Uche Secondus, national chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), has noted that Nigerians will soon be relieved of the burden it is going through under the All Progressives Congress (APC) administration when the party regains victory at the election tribunal. Secondus was hopeful that the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar would soon be declared a winner by the tribunal. While receiving a delegation of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, led by its Deputy Director General, Mr. Zhou Guohi, at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja today, Secondus said Nigeria is suffering from a poor economy and security, among other things, due to the poor governance delivery of the ruling APC. Through his spokesman, Ike Aboyin, Secondus said that Nigeria and China share a lot in common, especially in the area of the population where China, with over 1.4 billion persons, are the largest concentration of human beings in the world, while Nigeria, with over 200 million people, is the largest concentration of blacks in the world. According to him, a deepened relationship with China would be cherished because there is a lot to learn from the country. Secondus said the relationship between China and Nigeria was long opened by the PDP administration when it came to power in 1999, as it is sustained democracy for 16 years uninterrupted. Meanwhile, PDP has also begged EU, saying, "Please don't abandon us. Nigeria moving towards failed state." The People's Democratic Party has also appealed to the European Union not to abandon Nigeria, as democracy will become a foregone issue to future generations in the country. The party also described Nigeria under President Muhammadu Buhari as a failed state. Speaking yesterday when the party received the EU delegation, the Deputy National Chairman of PDP, Yemi Akinyomi, said that Nigeria had all indices of failed state because President Buhari was behaving like a despot. According to the PDP Deputy National Chairman, "We have lost confidence in the electoral system in Nigeria. There is nothing to improve in the country's electoral system. We are going down the road as a despotic nation under the All Progressives Congress." PDP in the last 16 years laid the groundwork for democracy to thrive. President Goodluck Jonathan accepted defeat in 2015 to allow democracy to thrive. This is maturity in the overall interest of democracy to grow and improve. That old order promoted by Jonathan has been defeated, and we are now living in a despotic era. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and all security agencies have been hijacked. Nigeria is moving towards a failed state, and you tell us that we are practicing democracy. Democracy can only survive in Africa when it survives in Nigeria, because 1 out of every 5 black persons on earth is a Nigerian. You should beam its searchlight on the Nigerian judiciary, because when the trial at the Presidential Tribunal starts, there will be a lot of revelation of electoral malpractices and rigging. We expect what happened in Kenya to happen here in Nigeria, and heavens will not fall. In Nigeria today, there is insecurity everywhere and poverty and scarcity of food. These are all indices of a failed state. President Muhammadu Buhari is the worst president Nigeria have seen so far. Under President Goodluck Jonathan, the price of petrol was 87 naira per litre. It is now 145 naira per litre. The foreign exchange in the past was at 165 naira, but now it is 360 naira to $1. There is corruption as never seen before, yet the APC government claims that it is fighting corruption. Please don't abandon Nigeria, because to do that is to say farewell to democracy in Africa, the PDP Deputy Chairman pleaded. EU Chief Observer Maria Arena said at the submission of his findings and recommendations to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) that journalists and members of the public will be free to speak and make clarifications on the issue raised in the report. Arena, who did not speak further on the content of the report, noted that the EU had been part of Nigeria's electoral process since 1999. INEC Chairman Professor Yakub Mahmood, who received the report, stated that Previous EU recommendations had been adopted by the Commission in the conduct of elections in Nigeria. Professor Yakubu noted that recommendation by EU that INEC should merge the accreditation and voting process on election day was adopted and used for the first time during the 2015 Bayelsa governorship election and other subsequent elections in the country. The observations and recommendations of the EU Election Observation Mission to the 2015 general elections were particularly useful not only in the design of some important proposals for the reforming the electoral legal framework, but also in improving our electoral processes and procedures. The INEC chairman added, he also commended the EU for her interest in Nigeria's democracy processes and assured that the recommendations on 2019 elections will form benchmarks in the reforms to be submitted to the National Assembly. Every election in the democracy around the world is work in progress. We therefore look forward to the full EU reports and recommendations on the elections. We are confident that there will be useful lessons for the Commission as we prepare for future elections. Indeed, the report is coming at the right time as it will feed into our ongoing review of the conduct of the elections. Let me assure you that the Commission will again quickly focus attention on the electoral legal framework in addition to several other areas of reform. We will study in detail all your recommendations as part of our ongoing internal review of the 2019 general elections, which we hope to conclude in the next 2 months, he added. What PDP have said is not really far from the truth when you talk about the economy, the security, and things that were happening before 2015 and what we are experiencing now. They are just too far apart, and we will see the difference. We are not really improving in this country. We are not really improving. And when you talk of people, some people will come and tell you that, okay, they've gained 1 or 2 things from this government. Then what is the percentage compared to where we were in 2015, 2014, 2015? So that is just my own submission. More so again, there's something that the PDP said. They talked about EU begging EU to come and help Nigeria. To beam their searchlights in the judiciary. They are not going to do anything. Their own is that they've given the reports. It is you that need to put your house together. You need to put your home together. They will just tell you what they have seen based on their observers and what they observed, and they have told us, and their recommendations. It is left for us to take it or not to take it. They are just a neutral body that will tell you what they experience, because they are not going to be on anybody's side or on any party's side. They will just say it the way it is, and which they have done. So it is not left for us to be able to pick 1 or 2 things and build on it so that our country will be a better country. This idea that somebody is coming to help us shouldn't even be coming, because they can't do anything. Like we know, Nigeria is a sovereign country, so we have to do things on our own. They can just give advice, they can just recommend. If we like, we'll take it. If we don't like, we'll discard it. That is just what they need to do. So this mentality that somebody is coming to help you, there's nothing anybody can do about it. If the people at the end of affair can't do the right thing, I'm sorry, they can't do anything. And talking about China, that things will be okay. Of course, we know that we have a good relationship with the China, and we have some kind of things in common. They have a large numbers of a population, which we do as well. I think Nigeria should be one of the greatest country in the whole world, not in Africa, but because we are not doing the right thing. We are supposed to be competing with all those other developed countries at that high level, because when you see Nigerians going outside the country, you see them doing tremendous things, and it baffles you. Why is it that these guys are not really excelling in their own country? We have all it takes, like I always say, and like I believe, we have all it takes to compete at a higher level. If we can put our house in order and make sure that we do the right thing, who says we will be flying like any other country in the world? And more so, it's just a lesson for this present government, if they will be able to do what they need to do. Because with all these recommendations, with all these things that they are hearing, they should just key into it. And it will boost their party, it will boost their regime. But the problem is the willpower to do most of these things, because of selfish interest, because of greed and wickedness. Everybody just paving way for him or herself. When it involves the old people, when it involves other people, they are not interested. Like all these things, they are not just rocket science. If Nigeria wants to be good today, I tell you, and believe you me, it will be good before the day goes down, before the sun sets. If Nigeria wants to be good, it will be good. But just that we don't have that willpower, we don't want to do the right thing. That is why we are still where we are. They love to see people to suffer. That is what we really have. So this idea of calling one country or calling the other country to come and help us, they will not help you. They won't do anything because we are of age. How old are we since independence? Since independence, how old are we? We are going to 60 years old, and a 60-year-old child, you are telling me you are still going to be spoon feeding that child. It's not done. Even a child of 3 years, knows what he or she wants, and you will be able to, reason. Not talk of a child of 10 years, 20 years, let alone a child of 60 years, going to 60 years. So if we are still waiting for people to come and be carrying us or to come and tell us what to do, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. So that is just my own opinion concerning what PDP has said, begging the EU and telling the Chinese people what will happen if at the end of the day Atiku gets his mandate. So guys, I would like you to deliberate on it. Let's ponder on it. Put your comments below as usual. Thank you very much. You are the best. Bye.